Today we've got a seriously tough guest, Abigail Cheun, a former D1 commit to Rider University who had her path flipped upside down after a major car accident, only to come back stronger and start playing with the men's college club team at Diablo Valley College. This one's all about grit, comeback, and leveling up. Let's get with it with Abigail. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be part of your podcast. Like, I already
Abs-
see you're doing great things with
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. To start, can you tell us like a little bit about yourself, like where you're from and how you first got into lacrosse?
Yeah, so I'm from Northern California, quite a bit away from the East Coast.
Yeah.
I'm from Danville, California, which is about 30 minutes from San Francisco. I've been playing lacrosse for about, oh my gosh, 11 years now, but it didn't start off so smooth. Growing up, I was really introverted, so my mom tried to put me in like every sport possible just to get me out of my little shell.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I was very unathletic. And I was a kid literally picking grass. Like I tried softball, soccer, swimming, you name it. But one day she was just tired of like putting me in all these different sports, and I was just like, no.
Right.
So my cousin is from Kentucky. She plays field hockey, and my mom was like, "There's no field hockey in our area, so lacrosse is like the adjacent to that, and like you're just gonna stick with this." And I stuck with it for a while, and I still did not like it. I was still the kid picking the grass and stuff,
Yeah.
but one day, eventually, when I was like in sixth grade, I ended up really just loving the game.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah,
That's cool how it like evolved like kind of quickly too. Uh,
yeah.
West Coast lax definitely hits different. What's the vibe compared to the East Coast?
Yeah, so growing like when I was younger, like people didn't even really know what lacrosse was. Definitely in the area that I live in now, it's grown significantly that most people know what it is, and a lot of
Yeah.
people are trying the sport. Um, I mean, California has produced some great competitive players that play in college now. But I had the opportunity to play alongside some great players, play against some great players. I started in middle school. Like middle school is when I really started to love the game, and that's when I told my parents, "Hey, I want to play at the next level." So we had to kind of strategize this whole thing. So I ended up going to a club in San Francisco, one of the most competitive teams in California,
Uh-huh.
and we had to commute like about an hour in traffic every weekend. We had players coming up from SoCal, and like it was kind of cuckoo crazy because
Yeah.
it's expensive to have to like one, travel for practices, and two, having to go West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East Coast like all summer, all fall. So it's definitely been quite a journey with like recruiting and everything, but I think a factor that really drives away a lot of people in California from playing lacrosse is the fact that it's so inaccessible because it's very expensive and it's still a growing sport out here. So that's what
Yeah.
it's like in California.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying like I know a lot of top 10 like teams like throughout all the divisions like in US Club Lax
Yeah.
for boys at least a lot of them are like top 10 tier teams and not top 10 even they could be top 5 or going
Yeah.
farther back top 20 like West Coast Stars Mad
Yep.
Dog. There are some really good teams in West Coast, but it just, like you said, it's definitely hard because lacrosse is an expensive sport, and it's just tough to buy the gear and stuff. And so some people just, it's tougher for them.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. What team do you play for?
I play on Team 91 Virginia and then Team
Got you.
91 South. Yeah.
Got you. Got you.
Um, who were some of your mentors and role models growing up?
I would definitely have to say my dad was the biggest one for me because when I first started playing, he obviously both my parents didn't like they didn't grow up playing or they didn't play sports in college or anything. But my dad didn't he grew up in LA. He didn't know what lacrosse really was, so he went on this whole tangent of studying it and really enjoyed it. So throughout my journey, he really guided me and like coaching me. He coached some of my youth teams. Right now we're actually gonna coach your age girls together this summer, which I'm really excited about.
Oh,
But
yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, he's really been my biggest mentor. My mom has been my motivating factor for me.
Yeah.
She's my hype woman. And I've had some great coaches along the way. One of my high school coaches, Coach Rick, he really allowed me the opportunity to grow in high school. He was just an awesome coach. And I haven't had, because I'm in the West Coast, I haven't really had had access to any big pro players now. I mean, I know there's some pro players out here
Yeah.
now, but back then it was like, okay, even though I'm older than you, I'm not too old, but social
Yeah.
media was still a big thing for me. So I guess YouTube and Instagram was really my go-to, and I watched the pro players like Taylor Cummings, Kylie Ohlmiller, Kayla Trainer. They were huge on YouTube at the time. So
Yeah.
those were my role models at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite lacrosse memory from Caro Denelet High
Rondelet.
School, Grondelet High School days?
Yeah, so I actually went to an all-girls Catholic school, which is very different than where I'm at now, having had played men's
Yeah.
lacrosse. But I would say my freshman year, I was the only freshman on the team, and my seniors were all amazing. They really showed me what sisterhood really looked like. They were so much fun, really great people. Like the pre-games, the post-game, like just going out together. Like they were just really caring, and that's something that I really hope that I can bring to the girls that I coach now.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I hope I have the same like experience like in high school with like, having the seniors like,
Yeah.
kind of helping you with your freshman year and stuff. But that's kind of awesome how they did that.
Yeah.
Did you attend any showcases or high school events?
I attended many. It was insane. I attended so many. My team obviously were from the West Coast, but we had to travel to the East Coast. We were hotel hopping the entire summer. It was like we went to all the really competitive tournaments for girls, like Lax for the Cure, Nike G8. Not sure if you know any, but I attended those, and there were a lot of college coaches there. I attended a few, I don't know if you know what American Select is, but it's kind of like the New Balance All-American, but really
Okay.
popular on the girls' side. Um, I attended that a few years. I went through a few school camps and like a few lacrosse masters. So I did a little bit of here and there everywhere,
Yeah.
like back to back to back the entire summer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What were some of the difficulties of like, hopping through the summer, like you said, with the hotels and stuff, just kind of traveling, I guess.
Honestly, well, first of all, it's really expensive. Like I feel bad for my parents' bank
Yeah.
account. But I would say probably getting the right food because, I don't know, that's kind of a random one, but
Okay.
like feeling myself right. I don't know what it's like for you coming from Virginia if you're like driving around or like got to come home or had to hotel hop too,
Yeah,
but
it's kind of back and forth, like one summer it was like hotel hopping and we were all over the place.
yeah.
But last summer it was actually kind of chill. But
Mhm.
this summer it's hotel hopping again.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting though. You get to spend so much time with your friends, your family, and like, I
Yeah.
don't know, it's fun.
I wouldn't so say much my family, more like maybe just my dad. Yeah.
Oh,
I
you'll
um
one day when you're my age, you'll look back on it and really
yeah.
appreciate the moment.
Um
Maybe not now,
yeah.
but
What was your recruiting process like?
oh man, it was quite a process, I'll tell you that. So let me start off by like prefacing a few things. Um, I was not back then. I was not the player or athlete that I am now. When I first, so I played like rec I played a club that was local when I was in sixth grade. That's how I started competitive lacrosse. And
Mm,
then after sixth grade, when I said, okay, I want to play D1 lacrosse, is when I had to start going to the more competitive club, the more competitive showcases, da da da. And I think that shift, though, was really when my mindset shifted from wanting to do lacrosse for a passion versus trying to chase like Division One because of like how I thought others would perceive me and like I guess the glory of being a
yeah.
Division One player. So I think that really shifted my trajectory a lot because I ended up becoming a player that I guess in a way had an ego because I only trained things that I was really good at, but not the things that I was really like
Right.
my weaknesses, right?
Right.
So that I think it's all a combination of things like that, and then also having this fear of making mistakes in front of my coaches, like
Mm,
college coaches, club coaches, for my teammates, etc. So that really hindered me from obtaining a lot of, like I lost a lot of opportunities because of that. And I think when you play club lacrosse, your parents invest a lot of time and money, and I think for yourself too, you're also spending a lot of time because your ultimate goal is to play at the top Division One level, I
yeah.
believe. So, I
Right.
mean, I don't really know
Right.
why else, but I think obviously we all want to go to big name schools. Like my dream school was Yale. I wanted to go to all the Ivy Leagues and like everything. And also I just had this notion of thinking about the future of what this would look like on my Instagram. Like
Yeah.
you see the commitment edits, it's huge.
Yeah.
So throughout the summer, I didn't get as much playtime as I wanted to because, like I said, I lost a lot of opportunity because of that. And I also had a very narrow mind. I was a bit delusional because I had a few schools that were interested. For example, Coastal Carolina was one of them, but I didn't know anything about that school. And I thought, wow, that's like, I mean, nobody knows what Coastal Carolina,
Yeah.
well, coming from California, but
Right.
it's not a top academic institution. So I was like, you know what? No, I don't want that. And it was it was just not a good mentality. But yeah, I think being realistic is very important and not ha having that mindset of like, what are other people going to think of me if I commit here? Because at the end of the day, it's you're the one that's going to be going to that institution for 4 years, and like it's all a matter of what you want career-wise, lacrosse-wise. And I think that's a thing that myself definitely included. A lot of us have this mentality of like, thinking about what others think of us, but I think that's
Right.
something you have to tune out.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah, so I went through the summer and then September 1st came around. I didn't get any of the schools that I wanted. I mean, that's very obvious. I had a couple schools though, like UC Davis was interested. I had a few D3s and stuff, but it really sucked because as time progressed, you see all of your teammates committing to high academic schools, all the schools that you really wanted to go to. And I think the worst feeling is that feeling of regret, wishing that you could have done this and this and this and this, but now it's like too
Yeah.
late. So I had a few more showcases and tournaments coming up, and I was like, all right, I don't know, I was just like, I was a ball of stress, but my fallback was that instead of me doing something about it, I kind of just sat there on my butt and just was just
Mm.
stressing, that
Yeah.
should have been a red flag to me. That top Division 1 was not meant for me at that point. So the tournaments came up and this was like totally random out of the blue, but this Coach Mager from Rider University reached out to me. He just texted me this whole thing like, "Hey, I'm Coach Mager from Rider. This is about the program. It's a brand new program in New Jersey. And like let's hop on a call or something." And, obviously I didn't know what Rider University was. I don't know if you knew what Rider
I
University
don't even
was,
know.
but
Yeah.
it's like it's a no-name school. It is Division 1, but it's
Yeah.
not a school that I would have tried to go for in the beginning. And at this point, I didn't really have a lot of options. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna see. So I hopped on a call with him, Coach Mager. He's an amazing coach. He's actually at Rutgers now, but
Okay.
he
Yeah.
was telling me the details of this. And he was like, "All right, you're gonna come out on a visit when you're at this New Jersey tournament." So I was like, "Okay," but I was already in my mind. I was like, "I don't think I'm gonna accept this
Yeah. Okay.
offer."
Okay.
But yeah, so I had the tournament, and then I went on the visit. I mean, Coach Mager, he's a great coach. He really had a vision for that program, and in his first season, he did amazing things with it. But I was still stuck in that mentality of like, I don't want to go to a school that's no.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I ended up playing these tournaments, and like I think I just had so much pressure on myself because all of my teammates were already committed, and like a lot of people were like, "Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go?"
Yeah.
And I had already told people like, "Hey, I want to go D1. I want to do this and this and this." And I think that so Coach Maker actually ended up offering me a full scholarship, and I think I just had so much stress and pressure at this point that I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna accept it. Coach Maker's great. He's building this program. But I mean, it just wasn't. I also didn't know exactly what I wanted to do in college, which was
Okay.
another big no-no. Like that's
Yeah.
something that most young players should like. I think when you're going through the recruiting process, it's something that you should really pay attention to.
Right.
I just kind of accepted it and was like, all right, I'm done with this process.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, that was kind of a short spiel of
Yeah.
what
When you accepted the offer, how much did you just like? How much were you able to relax and be like, okay, it's over?
I was so relaxed at
Yeah.
that point, but yeah, it was kind of an
Um.
irrational decision.
Yeah. So kind of going back, you said you were like a little nervous, like making mistakes on the field. How did you end up like kind of overcoming that or changing it?
See,
Like,
I didn't overcome that until like after I committed.
okay.
But the tournaments that I did play in front of Coach Mager, sorry, I forgot to mention this as well. He had I rejected him actually the first time he offered me, and then he continued to pursue me through these tournaments, even though I had said no like a couple of times.
Oh my
But
gosh.
my dad and I actually worked through a few reps before I had attended these tournaments, so I actually played a lot better than I had been in the summer because I was
Yeah.
practicing with my dad.
Okay.
But that's actually the first time that I kind of overcame that fear of making mistakes on the field. So I think reps, 100% is what
Yeah.
get you through.
That's awesome. What was like, how did you finally choose on Rider University? Like, was it that was it that you just wanted to be done with it, or did you find like some good things within the university?
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, Coach Mager was definitely the driving factor for me. I knew that I was going to get a great experience under him. Um, the school itself, I think because I was so like amazed by his coaching and the program, I kind of looked past like the university itself.
Yeah.
And also, it was kind of crunch time where I was like, all right, I'm not going to get many opportunities after this tournament to like to get
Show
any
yourself. Yeah.
looks or anything because now it's 26s and now they're going into season. So I kind of just committed, like, let's just
Yeah,
get
but
this over.
so although it's not a huge D1 school, what was it still like committing to a D1 school?
I mean, in my own delusional mindset, it was pretty darn cool because I was like, oh, I get to say I'm D1. But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, let me tell you, that division does not matter. I mean, definitely, yeah, division does not matter because it's really a matter of what your experience is going to be like in college, what your goals are in the future, and I mean, yeah, it just does not matter about what other people think on Instagram,
Yeah.
what commitment edit you have.
Absolutely. That's words of wisdom. Um, so after committing to Rider, what was the grind like to stay in shape both physically and in the classroom?
I'm gonna be so on. Well, actually, let me tell you. So I committed in November of my junior year of high school. And then that following December, that's when I got into the car accident. But like I said, this is a big red flag that you should not be going into Division One. After I committed, I pressed post on Instagram. I was like, you know what? I think I can just relax now. And Ryder's not a huge academic institution, so I kind of like, I was a good student, but I kind of
Yeah.
let go on academics. I kind of let go on training because I was like, you know what? It's time to relax. But I didn't realize that in athletics, if you want to be a real athlete, there is no relaxing. You always gotta push yourself to be the best, be the best, be the
Yeah.
best, because someone's gonna beat you. But I did not push myself and I got into that car accident and I think that was honestly a big wake-up call from God that girl, you gotta go do something.
Yeah. So kind of going off of that, I know that after you committed, you got into the car crash. How did that change your view of lacrosse, college, and life?
Oh God, it was a life pivoting moment for me. I cannot like talk enough about like what this experience has taught me. It's taught me so much about discipline, overcoming challenge, and just persevering. There's just so much I can talk about this. I think that the hardest part is when one day you take your life for granted, like just living your normal life, but then like it can just flip a switch like that. Like I'm very grateful that the accident ended in the way that it did because I could have lost my life, I could have lost limbs, but I survived. Granted, I did have an injury.
Yeah.
It really taught me so much. I mean, another facet of this though is that I think a lot of people don't realize about my injury was that the chronic pain, although it was not something that was like, life or death, it definitely was kind of life ending in a way. Like it really took away my movement, my function. Like I don't think a lot of people realize that when I was sick
Yeah.
in school, like I would have to grit through the entire day and it was just a constant battle of just like let's go day by day, let's go day by day because
Yeah.
I had just so much pain from my back and like the nerve damage that it caused. And it affected just everything.
Right. So after the accident, you made a tough decision to decommit. How did that decision affect who you are now?
Like I said, it was truly
Mm.
life-changing. Um, you know, I actually didn't tell Coach Mager about the accident until a year later. So I went through this injury for a year and I didn't, yeah, I continued to train through my pain and my injury because I kept on thinking, okay, maybe one day it's gonna get better. Maybe one day it's gonna get better. But after a year, I was like, all right, I'm about to go move out to the East Coast in a few months. Like, I don't think this is possible with where I'm at with my pain and my injury. So I had to
Yeah,
call up Coach Mager and be like, hey, I'm sorry, but I just cannot go out this fall. Um, Choosing to go to community college was a huge decision for me. I think it's taught me a lot about like being independent and seeking out my own opportunities that I wouldn't have had these skills, I guess, if I had just gone straight into writer.
absolutely. Um, what would you say to athletes who felt like their dream was just taken away?
What would I say? That's a really great question. I think it really depends on the situation, but I think that the most empowering thing that an athlete can do when they have their sport taken away for whatever reason is really use that adversity to empower themselves and to empower others.
That's awesome. That's good. Looking back, do you think that moment actually redirected you to something bigger?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've learned so much from this entire experience that I wouldn't have had before. I mean, like I said, you heard my recruiting journey. Like it was
Yeah,
completely different. I was a completely different athlete in person that I was then than I am now. So I've just learned so much.
absolutely. So, kind of going off that, if you could change the accident so it never happened, would you?
Absolutely not. I have no regrets and I'm just truly thankful because I truly believe that everything happens for a reason and I'm a Christian and I believe that God like it happened for a reason for me to really it was as a wake-up call, you know?
Yeah. And
So,
I feel like
yeah.
it helped you like, you know, make your decision and like you said, like that kind of like you said, taught you to get back up and, get start like actually training for lacrosse and, just doing everything in your power that you can.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
during recruiting, when I got rejected several times,
mm,
not getting the looks that I wanted, I mean, I kind of just sat there and was like, dang, that sucks. Like, it's this person's fault or like this and this and this reasons. But I think
yeah.
now I have such a different mentality about how things go.
Yeah, and I actually saw that you did a video with the Lacrosse Network, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, um, and that was like when I first saw you, and then I was like, we were watching, and we were like, oh wow, this girl's story is crazy,
Thank
and
you.
we were like, wow, after the accident, she really like she started. We saw you started throwing wall ball, and like
Yeah.
you started running the treadmill and stuff. So that's like it's crazy how one thing in your life can change like everything for everything else you do.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
that was really good that you did that.
Thank
Um,
you.
how did you end up training and playing with the men's team at Diablo Valley College?
Yeah, so after I decommitted, I ended up having surgery, which is how I
Yeah.
was able to get better.
Uh,
But I had trained so rigorously throughout the time that I had the injury. Let me preface also by saying that when I first had the injury, I sat on my butt and I was like, "Oh God,
yeah.
this sucks." But then one day I really like woke up because I was not getting any sleep from my injury. So I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, work out every
Yeah.
single morning. But eventually, when it came to a point when I needed surgery, that's when like I continued to train, so I was way better off and I recovered a lot quicker after surgery.
Yeah.
So I didn't think I was going to recover that quickly, but I ended up doing so. And I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, well, I really want to get back on the field somehow. And it just so happened that one day I stumbled into the lacrosse shop and then uh, my teammate Tom was in there and then my mom and I were talking to him and like, we joked around like, oh, she's gonna try and play men's lacrosse on the community college team because there's no women's at DBC. And then he was like, oh, I can get you on the team. So he got me in contact with the coach and then the coach was like, oh yeah, she can play as long as she has gear, da, da, da. Da. And then I just kind of spontaneously decided like, hey, I'm just gonna play men's lacrosse.
Yeah.
And I showed up to practice. So
That's
yeah.
what were the guys like on when you first showed up to practice? Was it weird?
Yeah, I would have never done this had it been for my injury before. Like, if I had never gotten injured, I would have absolutely never done this. I think I would have been really
Yeah.
concerned, like, oh my God, does my makeup look good? Are my teammates cute? Are the opponents cute? But this time I just did not care. So I walked onto the field. The guys were obviously like they like side-eyed me, like,
Like,
what is
wait,
this
we
girl
have a
doing
girl?
here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a few whispers of like, why is there a girl here?
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, they tried to act like whatever, but I'm sure, like, if I were a dude and I saw a girl there, I'd be like, what
Yeah.
the hell?
But kind of going back, if you think about it, if you never were in that car at that time, you probably would have never have been playing like men's
Never,
lacrosse.
never,
Like
never, never.
that's something cool to think about. Or if you or if you something happened, like you lost like a finger or a
Yeah.
hand or something, you wouldn't
Yeah,
you wouldn't ever be playing lacrosse. Um,
exactly. I
so
mean, if I lost a finger, I'd find a way to play lacrosse, but
yeah, maybe. Actually, I have a funny story. I almost lost my finger. So I was, so I'll just go through the whole story. So we're eating a family dinner, right? Like
uh-huh.
outside, and it's like the one time my mom makes beets, and no one likes him, right? We all try it. We always say one bite to be polite. So we all tried it, and no one liked it, right? And
Yeah.
my mom was like, finish it. And I just couldn't finish it. So I put my plate in the sink and, I decided to go outside because me and Effie were going to build a fort, right? That's my
Yeah.
sister. And so we decided to build a fort. So I grabbed some tools and then I see a hedge trimmer. So it's like a mini chainsaw. And
Oh my
I
gosh.
pull it out and my one of my brain cells just tells me to stick my finger in the chain, in the like the saw part. So I stick my middle finger in it, and yeah, it like splits right open. It was halfway through it. It was
Oh my gosh. Do you have
yeah.
feeling in your finger still?
My dad was like, if you put it in any farther, your finger is gone. Um,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh
So
my gosh,
I
that's
know. So
crazy.
next day, but next day is even funnier. So they just wrapped it up and stuff because my mom was like, it's fine. So we just wrapped it up. The next day, I'm in Spanish class, and my friend takes my hand and slams it on the table, and the band-aid falls off. It gets bigger. So I go to the nurse, and she's like, "Yeah, you need stitches." So we just went to the doctors and ended up getting like $5,000 stitches or two
Oh
thousand or
my
something like that. Yeah.
gosh. Dude,
Um,
that's crazy.
yeah, that
You were
was
lucky.
I
You
I
could have
am
been nine-fingered.
I know. Yeah, nine fingered. What was your first practice like at DVC? Were you nervous?
No, I was not nervous at all. And like I said, I would have been so concerned about how I looked or like, is my makeup good? But I was not nervous at all. Yeah, I just went in there like I was playing lacrosse again.
Yeah.
And I was
So
super
did you
excited.
you got to use all men's stuff like the
Yes,
men's stick
yes.
and stuff? What
My
what's
brother plays, so I had all
oh
his gear,
that's
you know?
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference between men's lacrosse and women's? Like from a first hand standpoint.
I mean, obviously, well, first of all, it's smellier, it's stinkier, and it's a
Okay.
lot more vulgar.
Yeah.
Um, the guys, all they do is fart and burp. Girls, we don't do that.
Yeah.
But
That's what
lacrosse
they
wise,
say at least.
yeah, but lacrosse wise, obviously, it's a lot more contact. It's more physical. Coming from, I was straight out of high school, so definitely playing with older. This is just not even about gender, but like guys
Yeah.
being older, like it just moves a lot faster. Actually, we did play against an adult team, and I think I swear to God, the guy was like 60 or something, 60 or something years old. Like,
Yeah.
wow, wow, people are still playing lacrosse, but okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot more physical. There's a few different rules, but it's not too different.
Yeah.
A lot more outside shooting, but I have noticed that women's lacrosse, there are a lot more outside shooters nowadays.
Absolutely. Yeah,
But
Charlotte North, I think she hit the first two-pointer in like
oh yeah.
WLS or
Yeah,
something,
yeah, yeah.
the PLL Championship Series. I was actually there. It was cool. I didn't see
I've
her
never
do
done that.
it, but I saw the boys. It was fun.
Yeah.
What are some of the like best women's players?
As of right now or like of history?
Right now.
Oh gosh. There's some great players. I mean, obviously, if we want to look at college, Chloe Humphrey's
Yeah.
huge in college lacrosse right now.
Yeah.
Charlotte North is by far like my favorite women's player of
Yeah.
all time. I think the her style of play is just so unique to like the entire history of
I
lacrosse. Like
know.
she was seriously like a game changer. Um, I mean, those two are obviously big standouts. There's a lot more, but I would say those two
Yeah.
are
Absolutely.
huge right now.
Um, well, go Kona going back. If you had to pick right now, would you rather choose women's or men's?
Oh man, men's was so fun to play because you could just whack them, hit them.
Yeah.
I mean, I got hit a few times, like
Yeah.
a lot, but um, I miss playing women's a lot because I mean that's just what I've played my entire life.
Yeah.
But I don't know, both are fun. Both are
Yeah.
fun.
Um, my sister plays women's. It's definitely hard to it's the stick
The
and stuff
stick.
is definitely different. It's definitely
Yeah,
different.
it
Um,
totally is.
but honestly, watching Charlotte North, it literally she shoots like she has a dude stick. Like
Yes. I
it
mean, you should see her pocket. It's like boom.
is it deep?
Well, she just has a lot of whip on the stick, and guys' sticks
Uh
tend to have more whip on it
yes.
than women's, so that's how she gets that 90-mile-per-hour shot.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and
was gonna
she's
say
very strong, of
yeah.
course.
What did you have to change about your game to keep up?
I honestly didn't have to change. Well, yeah, I didn't have to change too much because I had already been grinding my little butt off like beforehand. I was
Yeah.
training like every single day, so lifting weights. So that wasn't much different. But the one thing I would say is that like during practice, I had a few times where I caught the ball and there was a defender like right in front of me. And
Yeah.
in women's lacrosse, we have the shooting space rule. We're not allowed to, we can't have dangerous follow-throughs. Like you can't hit the player with your stick after you shoot the
Oh,
ball.
yeah.
Um, if you have shooting space, you're rewarded an 8 meter. Otherwise, you have a penalty if you hit them with your stick.
Okay.
So I hesitated to shoot a lot because I'm so used to the women's rules of you can't hit
Right.
them when there's a player right in front of you. So my coach would like yell at me and be like, Abby, you gotta shoot the ball faster. And I was like, I can't because there's a defender there. But
Yeah.
I would just go in the backyard. I have the Elevate goalie out of my
Oh, yeah. I know
and
exactly what that is. Yeah.
yeah, I just rep, like after that practice, I just repped it out, repped it out, repped it out with practicing with the like the screen. Have you heard of the
Yes.
screenshot?
Yes. Where
Or
you shoot them
obviously
right.
that's sky.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, the screenshot. So I
Yeah.
practiced that like boom, boom, boom. And then the next practice I was able to do it and then I was able to translate that into my game. But I think
Yeah.
like just repping it out was my biggest thing.
Absolutely. What's a welcome to the squad moment you'll never forget?
I don't have a singular moment of like welcome to the squad, but I mean, I'll tell you the first like I said, it was very
Yeah.
weird for the guys when I came
Yeah.
in. But we were doing a 1v1 ground ball drill like at the 50. Coach Drew, he rolled out a ball and then I think I beat a guy. Yeah, I beat the guy and then I ran as fast as I could towards the goal and I scored a BTB and all the guys were
Oh,
like, "Oh my God." And they all like fist bumped me after. I didn't realize that fist bumping was like a guy thing because in girls lacrosse we like hit each other's stick. But they were all like super like supportive. They cheered me on and everything.
yeah.
They make some very interesting jokes. There are some very weird conversations, but I
Yeah.
will say they've all like made me feel very included and like part of the team.
Yeah.
So
That's all
I'm
you,
very
it's like,
grateful for them.
yeah. Um, how has playing with the guys improved your speed and physicality?
Oh, significantly. Like
Yeah.
I mean, like it really taught me that to not be afraid to just like take a hit or like just to take some contact. And
Yeah.
in the women's game, there is contact, but obviously we're just not allowed to like slap check or anything.
Yeah.
But I think that in the women's game, a lot of us have a problem. Like if we see a stick, we think that we can't go through. But I think as an attacker, like it's really taught me that I can take in the pressure and use that pressure to really like bounce off of it, redodge, or like just, tuck my stick and a stick being there, you can just
Right.
get through it.
Absolutely. What's one skill that you've leveled up the most since your injury?
Discipline.
Okay.
Discipline 1,000%. I
Yeah.
mean, I have to pat myself on my back a little bit here, but I've literally like I've had so much like intention and structure in the way that I train now, and I train consistently.
Yeah.
So I've literally, I don't know, I've improved on discipline so much.
Yeah.
And definitely
Um,
speed, strength, mental toughness, everything.
yeah. Did this experience make you more confident with the ball?
Yes, 1,000%. A
Um,
1,000%.
what do you want people to understand about your story?
Um, I think with injuries, unless you've gone through it yourself, I think it's really hard to put yourself in that perspective. I think I wish more people understood, like had more empathy for what it's like to be injured and have chronic pain because it's
Yeah.
really very debilitating. I mean, not even just losing the sport that you love, but losing your ability to just live freely.
Right.
Um, I started my social media account because not because I wanted any sponsorships or like to show off in any way, but
Yeah.
I think that with social media, there's a lot of goods and a lot of bads that come with it. And I was really using social media to, like, I don't know, compare my life with the lives of others. And I wanted a fresh restart. So I started using it in a way to share my passion with the game for others and really document like my injury to show the raw side of what it's like to have chronic pain and an injury every
Right.
single day as an athlete. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
my social media, I really hope that I'm able to share my passion of the game with others, grow the game. I mean, you're
Yeah.
obviously doing a great job of that on
Thank
social
you.
media yourself, but really showing this other side of lacrosse is very important rather than just like glamorizing, like, hey, I'm doing this. Look at me, da da da
Yeah.
da.
Right. So what's your ultimate goal from here? Back to D1 or the WLL?
That's a little far from here.
Uh,
We're just trying to take it one step at a time right now. Just be the best person, best athlete, best student that I can be. Obviously, playing at the Division 1 level would be awesome, given how much time and effort I spend into training. But I mean, right now I'm kind of just focusing on what I'm doing academically. Um, and I'm still training as if I were to go into a Division 1 program because at the end of the day, I have nothing to lose by learning as much as I can about the game. And if I don't take it to the Division 1 level, at least I can share my knowledge that I've learned with the girls that I coach or even on social media, like
yeah.
giving tips and da da da.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just taking it one step at a time.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, now we're gonna do rapid fire, which is just like quick question, quick answer.
Okay,
All
okay.
right. Men's or women's? What's tougher?
Oh God, wait, this both, they're both tough. I don't
Okay.
know. Men's is more fun to play though, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Favorite lacrosse brand?
ECD, they've just been so supportive of my journey, but they're
Yeah.
not sponsors.
Okay. One player you model your game after.
Charlotte North.
Okay. If you score, Selly or no Selly?
Depends on the situation. If it's a hype game, then yes, Selly. If not, I'm kind of just like
Okay. Yeah,
fist
you
bump
like
about
nah,
it.
scored, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of your Instagram videos where you train with your brother. If it's you and your brother in a foot race, who is winning?
Me.
You? Okay.
That's not true.
Okay.
But I want to say me.
Yeah. If you could train with any player in the world, who are you picking?
My younger self.
Okay. Lefty or righty, be honest. Which is better?
I'm honestly loving my left hand right now.
Okay. Speed or strength?
Both. 100%. You need both,
Yeah.
but probably speed kills in lacrosse.
Okay. Shoot high or bounce?
Top shelf all day.
Yeah. Um, who talks more trash, guys or girls?
See, guys are more like chirpy and like kind of like, I don't know, just mess around, but girls are more like gossipy and like personal attacks, which is
Okay.
really toxic, but
Yeah. Funniest chirp you've heard on the field?
I don't remember, I have such a hard time remembering the specific ones, but I do remember my first practice, there was a guy who's very, very chirpy on my team, and him and another one of my teammate, like they started getting into it, like gloves came off for a second. I was like, what the heck? Because I've never seen a fight like in
Yeah.
practice before.
Sprints or lifting?
Both are significant, but my favorite's lifting.
Okay. Early
Yeah.
morning workouts or late night grind?
Early morning.
Okay. Me too, I think. Music or silence when you train?
Depends on the time of day and depends on the mood. So I
Okay.
go both.
Okay. Hardest workout you've ever done?
A really heavy leg day and a run test.
Okay. Helmet or goggles?
Goggles, but I wouldn't be opposed to women having more gear and more contact in the game.
Yeah. Gloves or no gloves?
When training or
Just yeah, in training.
no gloves.
No, okay. Turf or grass?
Turf.
Turf. And then lastly, your go-to karaoke song.
Baby by Justin Bieber.
Okay, okay. Well, that's all I got. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great
Absolutely.
time.
Me too. I had a great time too. Well, I really appreciate it. It was awesome.
I'm
Um,
wishing you the best of luck with your podcast. Like I
thank
said, you're
you.
doing great things already,
Thank
and
you.
I love it.
Thank you. No, definitely not. We're just getting into it even more.
Oh, wow.
I have a bunch of practices. Well, this I had a game today, and then I'm playing golf later today. But
Oh, that's
tomorrow,
fun.
yeah, I'm a big golfer.
Yeah, my brother loves
Yeah,
golf too.
but
I like
tomorrow,
golf. I'm not good
yeah,
at it.
tomorrow I've got practice, and then just throughout, I got practice every day of the week.
You guys are already in travel?
Yeah, we're all year round.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I wish we had that in the West Coast.
yeah, it's
We were every Sunday only.
oh yeah, yeah, it's all week, and then
Wow.
but Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I also have my personal trainer that I do lessons with and stuff.
Wow, so you're grinding, buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your goals with lacrosse?
To go D1 probably. I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know. If not lacrosse, just be successful and work with my dad. That's like the goals.